everyone, for coming out today to the Aaron Leach Club at Hancock Stadium for what is a very important and momentous day for Illinois State athletics. Just a few reminders. If anybody has their cell phones, please make sure they are on silent so we don't affect anything with our comments that are going to be upcoming. Following our comments from President Tarhule and from Dr. Baggs, we will go into a Q&A session for the media. We'll have a microphone to the left here. Josh has that. So when we get to that point, please raise your hand. He will come to you, and you can ask your question from there. At this time, we'll go ahead and get started. It is my honor to introduce the President of Illinois State University, Dr. Andave Tarhule.
Good afternoon, and thank you to everyone for coming. So, following a national search that started last November, I am thrilled to stand here before you today to announce Illinois State University's next Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. As you know from last week's announcement, a familiar face has taken a new title after serving 22 months in the interim role. Dr. Jerry Baggs brings a long history of service to the National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA, the Missouri Valley Conference, MVC, and Illinois State. She has demonstrated dynamic and visionary leadership, and the search committee recognized her deep commitment to the student-athlete experience. She's a 21-year veteran professor in Illinois State's Department of Marketing. She brings a unique background as faculty athletics representative and NCAA board member. She is a strong relationship builder that has helped construct a cohesive team of staff and coaches, a strong community of donors, and an engaged and growing Redbird fan base to support our student athletes. To name a few specific examples, she provided guidance to student athletes and athletic staff through a climate of change in college athletics, while also setting a departmental GPA record of 3.45 in the spring of 2024, followed with the second highest departmental GPA in fall of the following year at 3.43. She championed the student-athlete experience at Illinois State through the ever-changing landscape of name, image, and likeness, better known as NIL, navigated modifications of the transfer portal, and opened new athletics facilities and developed strong connections for our programs, including a few examples: securing OSF Healthcare as the official healthcare provider of Illinois State Athletics, and naming the indoor practice facility the OSF Healthcare Athletics Training Center, opened and dedicated in September of 2023. She also oversaw efforts that resulted in more than $425,000 raised in consecutive Support Your Sport campaigns, led the charge for enhancements to Safeco Arena, including a new Doug Collins court, basket stanchions, and a significant concourse lighting upgrade, and worked with State Farm and the local community as part of the Million Meals Pack, which was held at Safeco Arena and provided over 1 million meals to community groups in need. Dr. Jerry Baggs is a Redbird through and through. Even with a dozen predecessors ahead of her, she is the first female to hold this position, and she has my full confidence in helping us elevate not only our athletic programs, but more importantly, what I believe is a driver of success, a strong student-athlete experience. Please help me to welcome to the podium Illinois State's 13th Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Jerry Baggs.
Thank thank you all for being here today. I'm overwhelmed by the number of attendants. I know many of you would rather be playing baseball, some of you playing golf, including my husband. And so I'll try to keep my remarks brief. I am a previous faculty member, so I only know how to talk in increments of 50 or an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter than that. I have a list of thank yous. I'm going to start by thanking President Tarhule for offering me this position 22, 23 months ago. It was an unusual choice, but he trusted me then and continues to trust me with this position now. I wasn't the first faculty athletic rep to serve as an interim role as an AD, but there aren't very many of us who have ever done this, so I appreciate his trust. I also look forward to working with him as we try to elevate Redbird athletics. I want to thank the search committee, especially our 2 student athletes who served on it. It's time consuming, and I appreciate all the time that they put into making this important decision for Redbird athletics. I want to thank my leadership staff, Leanna Bordner, Paul Cabas, Cindy Harris, and Allison Thornley. We make important, tough decisions behind the scenes that impact all of Redbird athletics, and I appreciate their support. I want to thank our coaches, staff, and student athletes. There's a huge number of student athletes in the room. Thank you for your support. These people, student athletes and staff, give 110%, and they are who we owe our success to. I want to thank our campus and community partners. I see a lot of campus people here, and I appreciate that. Some of our community partners in the house, we appreciate you. That's what makes, again, Redbird Athletics what it is. Redbird Nation, the best fans and supporters you can ask, the best donors. I know some of them are in the house again today. Others are watching on live stream. Your investment in Redbird Athletics is what makes it possible to do what we do, win championships, graduate student athletes. So thank you for that. And then last but not least, my family, Brent, my in-laws, Don and Shirley Beggs, my kids, Brendan Beggs and his wife, Melanie. Oh, she's crying. That's going to make me cry. Can't look at them anymore. They are my favorite people right now because they gave me Maeve, my newest granddaughter, my new granddaughter. And then my daughter, Sydney, could not come. Those of you who work in athletics know that it is definitely a lifestyle. There's a lot of sacrifices. It is not a Monday through Friday kind of gig. And so choosing to do this was a definite change from the more flexible lifestyle of being a faculty member. I'll tell you a quick story. About 6 months into it, Brent and I had been battling over who would get groceries on a regular basis, and the cupboards had gotten rather bare. And he said to me one day, he said, you know, I've discovered that a lot of things go with peanut butter. Croutons are not one of them. So we had gotten really, really bare in the cupboards, but I appreciate their support and the sacrifices. I am proud and humbled to be the 13th athletics director at ISU. Unlike many of you in the room, I am not the least bit superstitious, and so 13 does not bother me at all. I'm also really proud to be the first female to hold this position. It's a little surprising to me considering ISU Athletics is known for promoting women in sport. Dr. Linda Herman served as an interim multiple times and probably should have been the first female AD, but I'm very proud that I am. You heard some of the accomplishments. My staff put together a one-sheeter of what's been going on in the last 22 months. Again, couldn't have happened without coaches, staff, and student athletes in the room. But I'm very proud of what we've accomplished in less than 2 years. Record GPAs, being a faculty member, that's really important to me. Football made a playoff run. Men's basketball is playing in a postseason for the first time since, I think, 2017. Women's basketball set a season attendance record, and they're going to go represent us well in the Missouri Valley tournament this weekend. Women's golf has been killing it. I saw some of them in the house. Won a conference championship last year, and we're tearing it up in the fall and early spring. Really, really proud of all of those accomplishments. I'm also really proud of the community events. One of my goals when I took over was to be a better campus partner and to be a better community partner, and sometimes those all come together. We hosted a boys super sectional last night, which is the perfect example of campus and community benefiting. Our IHSA events, girls volleyball, boys super sectional, football, bring in millions of dollars to our community and our economy. And they also bring to campus the perfect target audience, high school students and their families. And so I love when they all come together like that. Bowling on Beaufort brought what used to be called Hoop Fest to Uptown Normal. And by the way, that event won honorable mention and a Team Excellence Award just recently. And so we're really proud of that. And then the Million Meal Pack with State Farm that President Tarhule already mentioned. And those are just a few of the projects that we have taken to make sure that the community, Redbird Athletics and ISU, all benefit from each other. My vision has been to win championships, graduate student athletes, and be the best campus and community partner we can possibly be. And that will not change. The only thing that's really changed is I need a new set of business cards, Shauna. The rest of it is full steam ahead. We've already been doing it, and we're just going to keep doing it the way we've been doing it. There are some challenges ahead, though. Probably many of you are very aware of the changes, such as the transfer portal, the NIL, lawsuits that you're hearing about in college athletics, and it makes it really hard on our coaches, our staff, our student athletes as they try to manage that. I think our coaches literally hold their breaths for the entire time that the transfer portal is open for their sport. And so it's just a very difficult and different time in college athletics. I've heard it said, and I absolutely believe it. We've seen more changes in the last 5 years than we saw in the previous 50. And hold your hats, it's gonna accelerate. The House settlement, which some of you have probably never even heard of, are changing the landscape again moving forward. And that contributes to our financial issues, right? You've heard the president talk about the budget for the university, and we're tightening our belt. We're gonna lose $500,000 of funding from the NCAA in order to pay off this House settlement, the lawsuit that comes. It's gonna be important that we all pull together, the campus community, our staff, and also our community supporters, the corporations that do sponsorships, the donors who step up and help us in all the ways that we need it. All of that's going to be even more important as we move forward. So you are the best fans in the nation. I'm glad that you are on our side. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to end with a story. When I became the faculty athletic rep 16 years ago, I got the opportunity to start participating in conference and national committee work. And I was always amazed that in any given situation, I was always glad to be a Redbird. It was always good to be a Redbird. We didn't always have the most money or the fanciest facilities, but we did things right. We put a good product out on the court in the field. We got great grades. It was just, I was really proud to be a Redbird. And so I got known for saying it's good to be a Redbird. It was true then, and it's true now. It's good to be a Redbird.
Thank you, Dr. Beggs. Before we open up for questions, I'd like to invite Redbird football student athlete Mason Kaplan, who is a member of the AD search, up to the stage for a special presentation on behalf of the Redbird student athletes. Thank you, Mason. We will go ahead and open up for questions now. As mentioned, members of the media, please raise your hand. Josh has a microphone here. He can come to you. Eric?
Thank you. Eric Stock, WGLT. A question first for Dr. Tarhule. If you could walk us through, first of all, the process for deciding on Dr. Beggs as the choice, and how do you envision ISU athletics moving forward? What should be the priorities?
Thanks, Eric. So, as you know, we put together a search committee, I believe it was November of last year. And as a university, there are sometimes people who say, why doesn't the president just make a choice or the decision? Well, it doesn't work like that in a university. We have shared governance, and so we want to make sure that we provide opportunities for all constituents to have a say in the process. So we created a search committee. We also went out and hired a search firm to help us publicize the position, talk to prospective candidates. And I'm proud to say we ended up with a very rich pool, very diverse and rich pool of candidates. The search committee worked with the search firm to narrow that list, I believe, to 12, don't hold me to it, that they interviewed via Zoom, and then brought to campus 4 candidates that we got to meet in person, and we interviewed, and then we got the feedback from different campus constituents, and I took all of that into account in making a decision. So I hope that answers your first question. The second part, what do I envisage for Redbird Athletics? We have to win. That's, I want to win. And that's the message that I have given Jerry. I know we have done things really well, and we have had successes in some areas, but I think we can do even more. And so that's my expectation, that we win more championships. Beyond that, I'm really proud, and I echo what Jerry said. We see student athletes as students first. And so we want to continue that tradition to make sure that that experience, their experience as students, their experience as athletes, is fulfilling and rewarding for them and for the institution, for their families. So we need to continue that tradition of supporting our student athletes the best way we can, including with resources, including with programming, to make sure that they are successful. I know it's a lot of work for what they do and for the coaching staff, and so continuing to do things the right way, I think that's the way Jerry put it, but making sure that, while making sure that we win even more, I think that's my vision.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Thank you, Randy.
At what point during the 22 months that you have been the interim athletic director did you decide that you wanted the full-time job, and what do you think triggered that decision that you made that you did want the job?
Well, I think everyone knows the story that I had actually turned in retirement paperwork and was headed out the door. I really hadn't planned to quit working completely. I just thought I needed a new challenge. I never imagined that this would be the new challenge, but it honestly didn't take me very many months to figure out that I actually really enjoyed this job, and I really felt like I was contributing to Redbird Athletics. When I first, again, got the job from President Tarhule, I wasn't sure if I'd like it. I wasn't sure if I'd be any good at it. But I quickly realized that my concerns about the fact that I didn't know all the 19 sports really wasn't an issue for it. We have coaches who know all those sports. I needed good communication skills. I needed fundraising skills. I needed to know campus. And I had all of those things. Now, it wouldn't be fair to say that every minute of those 22 months that I think I wanted this job. This is a really hard job. And there are times that I was really tired and my energy levels, went down. But never enough to stop me. Yeah, never enough to stop me from going for it. I'm thrilled to have it behind us so that we can just move on. But definitely, pretty much the whole entire time, I wanted to keep doing this job.
A question for both of you here. During this time of a radical change in athletics, as both of you have alluded to, have you explored or even considered the possibility of other options outside of the Missouri Valley?
Let me just answer. I'll answer for both of us. How about that? We need to be dominating the Missouri Valley tournament, the Missouri Valley Conference. That's our goal. We should be dominating the Missouri Valley Conference. And until we do that, I think we're right where we belong. I don't have any interest. Would we listen if someone came knocking, yes. But I honestly believe, looking at geography, looking at all 19 sports, not just one sport, it would be a mistake for us to move anywhere right now.
Any other questions from our media? Seeing none, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. We're going to take some family pictures first, and then Dr. Beggs will be available for one-on-ones with the media following the family photos. So thank you once again for everybody coming out. Congratulations to Dr. Beggs. Go you Redbirds.